Good evening and thank you for joining us. My name is Wairu Mombogwa. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines. ODM starts house cleanup. As the festive season approaches, the drug sensitization debate. And in sports, top KPL players feted. The Orange Democratic Movement has cracked the whip on 4 members of the National Assembly perceived to be rebels. National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi received a letter from Minority Chief Whip Thomas Mwadegu to have the MPs removed from the committees to which they were nominated to sit in.
We shall not be short of alternatives.
We must now work with the national government. In 2017, we must ensure we are in the government, and subsequently we must always be in government.
These are the statements that have led to the ejection of 4 ODM members from various House committees. MPs ejected are Dalmas Otieno, Samuel Arama, Ken Obura and Zainab Chizuga. According to John Mbadi, the step was taken to ensure discipline in the party and also to strengthen the party.
What we have observed with the members who are disciplined is persistent, consistent and comments and actions that have not been working to the best interests of the party. Give the example of Dalmas. He has gone ahead of even saying he has a party waiting for 2017. Why should we wait for you? Why should we serve at your pleasure? You cannot enjoy being in parliament on ODM ticket and you have a party you have formed somewhere waiting for 2017 election.
He further said that the step was taken after serious consultations with the top party official that came to the conclusion. Now we only wait to see the position filled and to see ODM as a party organize its house in preparation for 2017 elections. Reporting for WTV News, I'm Godfrey Ouma.
Now that story brings us to our feedback question. Do you think kicking out rebels at the Orange House will put the party from rebellious acts? Do you think kicking out rebels at the Orange House will put the party from rebellious acts? Now send us your thoughts on our SMS line on 20058. I will sample them and post them on our Facebook page, WTV Kenya. The festive season is here, and what that means is that students are united with family and friends. For many parents, though, characteristic peer influence is their concern, which is why the Nairobi Baptist Church was quick to sensitize students from different counties the importance of keeping off vices such as drug and alcohol abuse. Irene Galgalo with more on that story.
The youth-led non-governmental organization SCAD organized a debate forum to sensitize youth in high school and university on the dangers of engaging in such vices as drug and substance abuse. The debate held at the Nairobi Baptist Church saw students from as far as Kajiado County take part in the different motions of the debate.
We feel it's very, very good when you engage young people in discussing some of the issues that affect them when it comes to alcohol, and not just discussing them from our angle as an organization or from older people, but from their angle, engaging them in giving us their views, giving us their thoughts on how to deal with this scourge that is actually destroying society.
Initiatives like these are meant to not only highlight the dangers of partaking in illegal substances, but to also get the views of the youth on ways of tackling the menace and further forwarding them to the relevant authorities for implementation.
We hope for them to give us some of their views and suggestions, things that could be turned into interventions to curb alcohol and substance abuse. We do follow up these views strictly because we believe this is a cause that you cannot just do something and let it slip by. If you're having a debate, for example, today, and receive views from the students, we'll forward them to the relevant authorities and follow up with them. For example, the Ministry of Education and NACADA will forward them the views and follow up with them to ensure they get to somewhere where they can be implemented within the country. And even the school administrations themselves, because sometimes you find that they have rules or interventions that could help curb alcohol and substance abuse, but they're not comprehensive.
The motions of this debate focused on the need to abolish the carrying of snacks to school and the need for mandatory checks upon arrival to schools for a new term. This the students found to be ineffective in tackling the issue of drug abuse, as there are many other ways to sneak drugs into school.
Really stop looking at foodstuff as the only method of introducing these drugs. What about the scholars? They should also look at the scholars as a method of introducing these drugs. Why only looking at the food? Why only looking at the beverages? I can also tell my scholar friend that, please, can you bring me something like alcohol? And because they won't be searched, isn't it? Because the teachers only concentrate on the food stuff on the borders. Then he can bring me the alcohol and such things.
SCAD hopes to build long-lasting relationships with the government and organizations like NACADA that will help their program reach as many youth and change as many lives as possible. Reporting for WTV News, I am Irene Galgalo.
Today, the world marks the Universal Children's Day, a day set aside to observe worldwide fraternity and understanding between children. This happens even as the rights of children continue to be violated all over the world.
The Universal Children's Day was established in 1954 under the Resolution 836 of the United Nations General Assembly. The day is set aside to promote mutual exchange and understanding among children and to initiate actions to benefit and promote children's welfare. It is also a day set to bring awareness to children around the world who have succumbed to violence in form of abuse, exploitation and discrimination. In Kenya, this day is marked in the backdrop of rising cases of defilement and child abuse. Barely a month ago in Kisii, 4-year-old Anita Osebe-Moi was defiled and killed by a man who has since gone into hiding. And in Nairobi, a little boy nurses major internal injuries after being sodomized by his father. Such incidences illuminate the gap that exists in the fight to protect the rights of children according to the UN Charter. In Nigeria, the Bring Back Our Girls movement is still on course 7 months after the Boko Haram abducted 276 schoolgirls. 57 of the girls managed to escape and none of the remaining young women have been rescued so far. This despite a global Bring Back Our Girls Twitter campaign that went viral and garnered support from high-profile figures such as the US First Lady Michelle Obama and Nobel Peace winner Malala Yousafzai. 40 million children below the age of 15 suffer from abuse and neglect, while more than 300,000 children under the age of 18 are being exploited as child soldiers in armed conflicts worldwide. There needs to be widespread condemnation of all forms of child abuse, with all governments working to ensure justice is served to all who violate and exploit the children of the world. Reporting for WTV News, I am Irene Galgalo.
60 exhibitors from all over the world gathered at KICC to showcase what they can do in packaging and processing food products in order to manage food wastage in the country. Winnie Otieno has the details.
The processing and packaging technology will help create partnerships in the food value chain business with local companies. This will improve the value addition in agro and horticultural products to increase economic gains in the export market and encourage international firms in the food processing and packaging to set up in Kenya as a gateway to the region.
Well, nearly 50%, if not more, of our food produce today go to waste. You see situations where mangoes grow, and for 3 months you have got excess supply of mango because they are all available and they cannot be stored or preserved to be used at the time when they are not in season.
The machines are completely automatic, which means they are extremely efficient, highly productive, very reliable. And also there is no issues with hygiene or things of this nature because the machines are completely automatic.
What we are doing is just to make sure that this becomes a regular program so that people understand the technologies, what can be done, and be able to build the necessary partnerships for the long-term success, of the producers, because they will be able to preserve their products.
This will harness the huge opportunities available. He urged all the participants to take full advantage of this exposure. Through such events, the entrepreneurs do not just exchange their wealth of innovations and skills, they also create markets for their goods and services. Reporting for WTV News, I am Winnie Otieno.
And in sports, reigning Kenya Premier League leaders Gor Mahia and runners-up Sofapaka FC dominated hugely, while AFC Leopards Ingwe walked empty-handed in the 2014 Best Performers Award ceremony held on Wednesday night in Nairobi.
Despite their positions and rivalry in the pitch, cup holders Gor Mahia and runners-up Sofapaka were head-to-head in bagging the top awards. The two clubs were nearly in each category, managing 2 major wins each. Against all odds, Anthony Ehaliani Ndolo was the 2014 Kenya Premier League Player of the Year. Ndolo was declared the winner on Wednesday night, beating Gor Mahia's Geoffrey Kizito, Tuskers Osman Mandei, and Sofapaka's Enoch Agwanda. In Gor Mahia's side, Danny Serenkuma bagged the Golden Boot Award, beating Sofapaka's Enoch Agwanda and Ulinzi Stars' Stephen Waruru. They also won the Chairman Award. The Best Defender Award was taken by David Owino. Chemelil were other biggest winners of the night, receiving the Coach, Goalkeeper and Fair Play Player of the Year awards to Mike Miruri, Jaras Adira and Hamis Simunyi. In other news, Uganda Cranes' hopes for making it through to the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations were diminished by Guinea, who outclassed them by beating them 2-0 in Morocco.
And it's a wrap from our news desk. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wairi Mombogwa. Have a blessed night.